Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD, and I'm here to bring you guys the final game between PainUser and Pho, my two good friends. And PainUser is going to be the red Terran. At the bottom left-hand corner of the map is Cloud Kingdom. His opponent, Baby Pho, the blue Zerg at the top right. The series currently tied up at 2-2. I want to reiterate one more time, for those of you who are wondering, PainUser did mention he was super tired. It was like 5 or 6 in the morning. He actually was crashing at a friend's place, so it wasn't even playing on his own setup. So those are factors you also have to consider. It's like 5 or 6 in the morning. We're real gamers here, man. By the time I think the 5th match was played, this is like already 8 in the morning. We're real gamers, man. We stay up to the wee hours of the morning playing video games. That's how we do it. And so we'll see what happens here. It is currently tied up 2-2. And it has been a phenomenal series so far. You guys probably not wondering anymore, but the two players' skill level very, very high. Easily grandmasters for both these guys. And we will see what happens here, man. It is the 5th and final match. The map is Cloud Kingdom. Big map, lots of expansions, a lot of terrain you can work with, lots of destructible rocks. Makes for a very interesting gameplay. And we're going to see what happens here. Barracks at the front door here. PainUser starting a little bit of chit-chat right now. And the mother cucker has footrest. Oh, he's crashing right now at a friend's place. So apparently he's got footrests where he's playing at. What a nice, luxurious thing to play with. And Pho, actually, I know where he plays. He's actually just got a subwoofer to put his feet on, and there it is. He's using a subwoofer. I don't know how many of you guys have a subwoofer under your desk, but I do, and you know that's where I chill my feet on. So not quite as comfortable as footrests, but I guess that kind of makes up for PainUser playing at a foreign location because he's so comfortable right now. So we'll see what happens. Gas mining right now after the barracks. Usually you get the gas because you're going to go factory play. That's what PainUser likes to do. You also can go into quick starport. I've been noticing him doing that a lot more versus Zerg as well. And so we'll see if he opts to take the gas to the next level for a starport or not, but probably will get those Hellions out. Like I said, it's not so effective anymore against the Mass Queen strategy these days, but we still see Terrans kind of clinging on to that habit. And you know, the metagame takes time to shift. One race discovers something, or usually one player discovers something. It spreads amongst all the other players of that race, like Stefano finding out the max torch against Protoss, and then the Protoss takes some time to figure out the counter. For a while, you know, there'll be some QQ like, oh my god, Zergimba, and then they'll figure out how to stop it, which is, you know, going for very fast immortals or something like that. But it's very interesting to watch how the flavor changes in StarCraft 2 depending on the month, depending on how the strategies evolve over time. And we do have that factory coming right now. Probably see PainUser get the command center down following the factory. You know, it's a map where you really do want to expand on really rapidly, and it's a little bit later of an expansion because you can just go barracks into command center first. Going barracks factory gives you the ability to harass, but like I said, it's very hard to harass against a queen, so I'd like to see how PainUser, if he pulls it off this game, because he hasn't, from what I've seen, been able to do that much damage with Hellion harass so far, and that's a problem. You don't want to let the Zerg, you know, go wild with their drones and their queens. That can be very problematic. And a Marine here just kind of chilling at the top left-hand corner. If you guys are wondering why I'm blackbarring some of the chat right here, it's because, you know, we're all friends here. We're having some personal conversation, and some of the players requested not to have, you know, some of the chat put out, which is totally respectable. And, you know, their wishes is obviously comes first, and so that's that. So that's why it's blackbarred. And we'll see what happens here. Command center down at the natural, or at least coming at the moment in time. We do have a factory with the reactor core. Starting to double produce Hellions right now, 2 at a time. Barracks and starport below that, so it looks like we are going to have PainUser go to the skies here. He has a second gas coming, so I think he might go for Cloak here. That could be pretty interesting, but like I said before, we saw this on Ohana. I don't know if it was Ohana, it might have been on a different map, but it's not so effective, I don't think. It was Atlantis Spaceship, the first game of this set. It's very hard to pull off, I think, Hellion Banshee now against Zerg, but we'll see. PainUser coming out across the map here with his 2 Hellions, just holding the Xel'Naga Tower outside of the Zerg base. And look at this, the 4 queens are situated right now for Pho. He's starting to get that huge tumor spreadage coming right now. And, you know, that's something very scary for players to deal with because it's so hard to stop the cancerous growth from coming out and just reaching all over the map. Meanwhile, do we have Cloak on the way for the Banshee? That's 300 gas saved up right now. Will he get Cloak or not, or will it just be Cloakless Banshees? We'll have to wait and see. I think he will probably just go Banshee because he's getting a Tech Lab on the factory, and he might funnel the gas into tanks instead. Meanwhile, yeah, the Hellions completely shut down. Look at that. PainUser, you know, cannot get up the ramp. There's no way in hell you're going to get Hellions past 4 Queens, a Crawler, and 2 Evo Chambers just to narrow that up even further. Good luck, you know, that is not happening. However, what the Terran can do is just try to hold off the third hatchery and maybe deny creep tumor spread for as long as possible. It looks like he's going to roast up that drone, so he will delay Pho just a little bit in this 5th and final matchup. What we're really waiting to see right now is the Banshee, and he did not get Cloak, mind you, but he does have a macro CC on the way, so while he lacks maybe the tech, he's going to make up for that in economy, and now we'll see if this Banshee can do any serious damage at all. It's a big investment to go Banshee, not quite as big as, say, a Cloak and Banshee, but it's still an investment. We'll see if he can get in any type of damage at all. Remember, there are 5 Queens here, so I don't know. It's going to be very difficult. Keep in mind as well, Pho here is making a lot of Zerglings, and he's going to have +1/+1 and speed finishing up very soon. One thing I've noticed from him is he's very good about getting the +1/+1 upgrade faster than Terran. We've only really seen one game where he slipped in upgrades, and that was partly because he was being contained and he went for some weird Nidus play on Ohana. But we'll see what happens here. Banshee and Hellions coming in, trying to hit the hatchery, but impossible to do. Too many Zerglings and Queens here, and it looks like the Hellions will have the fallback against the wall. But nice micro by PainUser, really utilizing the terrain to his advantage, where the Vespene Geyser cuts the Zerglings into narrow chokes. It funnels them through narrow chokes, and he was able to roast up the Zerglings as a result. So not a bad play, and you know, honestly, even though PainUser goes for this Hellion Banshee strategy, which shouldn't work too well against Queens, he hasn't lost any major units yet. He hasn't lost his Banshee for sure, and you know, he's been able to get pretty cost effective with them. Now it's his turn to kind of balance out a little bit. He went for the Banshee, he went for the quick starport. Now it's his time to go ahead and start to add on the barracks and the engineering base. You can see that coming right now. He's got to catch up in production ability if he's going to be able to stay toe-to-toe with Pho. And oh, the tank! Will he be able to keep it alive? It doesn't look like it, and that is a bit of a loss right there. Big loss, actually, having the tank on the low ground. Just gets caught by open Zerglings on the field, and you know, usually as Terran, you don't think that's going to happen, but against a very active Zerg player here, that can. And Pho really was able to take advantage of that. Nice play right there. PainUser a little bit reeling, I'm sure, from losing that tank. Doesn't want to lose tanks like he did on Daybreak. That was due to an unfortunate missed rally, really cost him the game. Hopefully that doesn't happen to him this game. One tank has fallen so far. Supply tabs lost. Still pretty close. Maybe a little bit in favor of the Terran. And now we see PainUser beginning to meal up the bottom side expansion of the pocket. And this is a great area for Terran because you can siege up right here on the ledge, right where my mouse is making the boxes, and you can essentially protect this command center, this orbital command, forever. It is a very safe and solid way to hold on to this this orbital location, and that's one big reason why Terrans do like this map quite a bit. Now we do see Pho beginning the huge amount of creep spreading with all of his queens, and there's just so many tumors, man. It's redundancy to have this many tumors, but it's really nice to have because if you lose one, you know, you have more to back you up with. So PainUser was able to scan that. Looks like he's sending a small force of units to try to take out these queens, maybe catch the tumors before they come in. He stims, going for a surprise attack here, and he will be able to roast up one queen and several tumors as well. But little does he know, what he scans, more tumors will come to replace, and now PainUser got to be a little scared here because Zerglings are coming up. PainUser backs down to the low ground. His Marines running dangerously low on HP, and they run right into a Baneling. Interception, and that ends those Marines days very quickly. Now PainUser, on the back foot. He is on 3 bases, however. Will he be able to hang on? He's got to have to get some turrets up because you can bet Mutalisks are on the way. In fact, we have several Mutalisks in the skies right now. 13 roaming across right now, trying to look for an opening to attack. There is a bunker to protect the third, but no missile turret coverage at the third. There's going to be purely Marines here. He's going to have to be careful with his tanks as well. Last time on Daybreak, he lost several tanks to those Mutalisks. Just weaving in and out and sniping his forces. And Pho, you know, is very good at attacking multiple locations, drawing the units onto a side, and then attacking the more vulnerable backside. So that's what you have to really watch out for when you're playing against a talented Zerg player. PainUser, though, he is extremely, you know, like I said, very good with micro himself. So while he lacks in maybe missile turret coverage, he's so good with the Marine control that he might just be able to hold this off just purely with Marines without combat shields. In fact, why doesn't he have combat shields yet? Ooh, he really needs to get that upgrade going. And this is where I think maybe fatigue just kind of costing a little bit because it is 8 in the morning. Like I said, he crashing at another person's house, not using his own setup. So, you know, you got to give him a little credit there. But get the combat shields, man. You got to get that going for your Marines because that is a lot of Zerglings and Painlings and Mutas. And I don't know how PainUser's gonna be able to hold this up, but remember, he can pull those magical hats out of the magical rabbits out of the hat. And while it looks like his army may be desperately smaller, he still has very good control to the point where he can hold off endless wave of Zerg units. This is where he's kind of made his name for himself, and we'll see right here if he can do it. Oh, the Zerglings are coming in. He holds position on the tanks. Nice there. Control, forcing on the Zerglings to funnel through. He gets his tanks to shell the Banelings at a distance, and the Marines stimming up to take out the Zerglings. But what does he have to deal with the Mutas? If PainUser holds this, my hat's off to him. Can he do it? Can he do it? That missile turret taking some serious damage. One more left in the back. Meanwhile, the Zerg is still ravaging on through all the tanks. And that missile turret, I think, will stay alive. It will. But now the Zerglings and the Banelings are coming, and PainUser has nowhere to run. I don't know how he's going to micro his way out of this. A lot of SCVs are going to fall. 22 gone down already, and that number will continue to climb up because he has nowhere to run those space construction vehicles. And now the orbital command floating back inside the base, but thankfully PainUser was, you know, he was able to hold off at the natural. At least he was able to hold off at the natural and did not have to deal with Zerglings inside his main base as well. So, you know, the heart of the Terran base, this production facilities, this maze of barracks, factories, and starports has remained relatively untouched. So the factories, the production facilities are still fully producing right now, but PainUser has lost one of his main resource areas. He has got to get a command center there, but that might be a little difficult when there's a hatchery there. And I guess Pho now starting to manor hatch his way for victory. Alright, so he's feeling pretty good right now, Pho is, but you know, he's not, the supply is still pretty close here. I think PainUser's still got a legitimate shot of getting out of this sticky situation. He's gonna have to get some tanks up on the ledge to shell out this hatchery and push down towards this pocket expansion. And he's gonna just go ahead and take the low ground route, which in a way it's a little bit safer for his Marines because he can kite the Marines behind the tanks if he needs to. But this is still, you know, a pretty sticky situation for the Terran player. Pho now runs in with all the Zerg forces. I don't agree with this at all from the Zerg side. PainUser getting a huge break here. He will blow through all those Zerglings and Banelings. And now this is exactly what he was looking to do. He's going to be able to reclaim the pocket expansion, get back up to 3 bases, fully mining, and maybe have a shot to get right back in this game. It's 132 supply to 145. A big mistake right there by Pho to send all of his forces in, but he does have a lot of bases to work on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I guess if you count this, it's a 6th base. So it is a lot of bases for Pho here, who will probably be looking to accumulate tons of resources and quickly convert that over to ground forces. But he has to worry a little bit because it looks like PainUser, emboldened by the last defense against those forces, is now going to make an attack here, and I really wholeheartedly agree with him. Attack while securing this expansion. Well, at least, yeah, secure the expansion. I hope he gets it with something here. He's got 2 bases floating in the sky. He's going to have to grab it with one of them, but now trying to make an attack, but uh-oh. Brood Lords, hello, and this is a little reminiscent of the game on Atlantis Spaceship, man. Running right into Brood Lords without Viking support. Trying to throw down double starport right now to get Vikings out across the field, but there are so many Zerglings coming out here, And even if he gets the Vikings out, will you have any ground troops remaining to even fight with? Oh, the Zerglings are coming. Oh, the Zerglings are dancing. Oh my god. And even with the Zerglings dancing, the rest of the Zerglings coming in for this round. And I guess it really is pretty much over for PainUser. I don't know, man. This is going to be really hard for him to come back from despite his impeccable micro. Do note he has a drop going off behind the expansion. Nice drop right there. I don't know how he got that one in. But will he be able to really do any damage? I don't know, man. He's still got to worry about these Brood Lords and Banelings. I guess the Banelings are not a huge threat, but yeah, the Brood Lords are big time. And he's not even mining out of the third, so really he's not mining at all. He's like barely making money as we see it right now. Trying to use Vikings actually to counter the Brood Lords. If you can get enough Vikings out, you could probably snipe out a lot of these Brood Lords, but still got to worry about the economy, which is under heavy attack. And I don't know if he's going to have enough to defend here, even if he gets his SCVs to repair the orbital. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and lift it off to mitigate the damage from the Brood Lords. Of course, he cannot attack air. And now his Viking is actually in a pretty good spot. Can he take out all these Brood Lords? Might be able to do just that. Starting to do a lot of damage. Only one Corruptor here. Pho needs more Corruptors. Pho needs to make Corruptors pronto, making 6 right now. But they're nowhere near the reinforcement point all the way back at home. And PainUser is going to be able to kill off all the Brood Lords. Unreal. I guess in a way that is a hold. PainUser will hold. He, by the way, does finally have Stimpack finish. His Marines are 3-3 as well, but oh, he gets bungled. Those Vikings did not need to die right there. Needless death. And it looks like, yeah, that medevac empty, unfortunately, was not able to drop any load on that hatchery. And losing all those Vikings might have been it. And there it is, GG. Calls PainUser, so finally Pho takes the victory in this best of 5. I will say that prior to this, PainUser had taken sets off Pho before, and of course, like I said before, he was very tired at this point in time. It was, I think it's like 9 in the morning right now, so regardless, I thought it was an excellent set of games, and it's always fun to kind of cast my friends because they are my friends, they are my relatives, and you know, it's good fun. You know, I'm really invested in watching some of my close buddies play. So I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. I'll be coming back to broadcasting more extreme high-level pro games from Koreans, from Stefano, whatever you guys want to see, from big names like Whiterud. They will be coming out on my YouTube channel very, very soon. I hope you guys enjoyed these casts, and this is HD StarCraft, signing out to the next time.